He's considered by many to be America's greatest composer of popular music, an innovator who created new and daring styles in Broadway musicals. You know his work. His songs fill Barbra Streisand's 2 Broadway albums, and one opened this year's Academy Awards presentation. During his nearly 40-year career, he has won Tony Awards, Oscars, even a Pulitzer Prize. And next week, his newest show, Passion, opens on Broadway. Let Bob Brown introduce you to Stephen Sondheim.
A woman can be an unattractive man has many opportunities.
Sing a C there instead of an A. Opportunities.
Stephen Sondheim is one of the best-known composers this country has ever produced, with one of the most fanatical followings.
You do like flowers, I should have known.
He is currently finishing the music, a lush and haunting score, for his 15th Broadway musical, called Passion. For most of his life, Broadway is where Sondheim has worked. Composers and lyricists from Berlin to Bernstein, from Rodgers and Hammerstein to Lerner and Lowe, used to dominate musical tastes from here the way the New York Yankees dominated baseball. Sondheim began at the peak of that tradition as the lyricist for Julie Stein's music in Gypsy, and before that, Leonard Bernstein's score for West Side Story. Ever since, he's had a reputation as a writer whose work has given our best performers some of their finest moments.
Just the way you can play right with words.
When he dabbled outside the theater, it brought him an Academy Award in 1991 for a song from Dick Tracy. But Sondheim has been best known since the early 60s for literally changing the course of the mainstream musical theater as one of those rare composers who writes both music and lyrics and surprises or thrills or infuriates audiences with the results.
The ones who shaped the American musical theater were really Rodgers and Hammerstein, the modern American musical theater. And then my whole generation of writers started to experiment. And, you know, writers write what they want to see on the stage. I don't want to go into a theater and see what I wrote last year.
This is the Sondheim who roamed far away from boy meets girl topics and wrote successful musicals about revenge and murder, about the disillusionment of a post-war generation, about love.
Passions that are more difficult, particularly anger is a very strong, very moving force in his work, and love that doesn't work out. But he doesn't deal in sort of June moon passions that are traditional to the musical.
When I'm calling you.
Here's a little example. In the traditional sort of Moon June musical, everything is clear and true. There's no doubt about what he's thinking or what she's thinking.
You belong to me.
But wait, what if they were really thinking,
I cannot be what you want.
What do you want?
I needed you and you left.
There was no room for me.
You will not accept who I am. I am what I do, which you knew, which you always knew.
that's a Sondheim song from his Pulitzer Prize-winning Sunday in the Park with George.
You are complete, George. You are your own. We do not belong together.
Sondheim doesn't censor himself. You're getting a direct emotional hit expressed in language that isn't speaking to you in code. And I think that's a very powerful theatrical experience.
A lot of Sondheim's themes come from having had his own expectations bruised as a young man when his parents divorced and he got trapped in the middle of bitter resentments that never subsided even as he grew older. He recalls a letter his mother wrote to him when he was in his 40s and she was entering a hospital to have a pacemaker implanted.
And so she wrote me a letter and had it hand-delivered the night before she went into the hospital. And she's opening sentence was, before I undergo open heart surgery, which she had underlined 3 times, I just wanted to tell you that I have only one regret in my life, which is giving you birth. And when I got this note, and then she went on, I thought, you know, I was stunned first, and then I thought, oh my God. I'd always thought all those years that, like so many parent-child relationships, it was misplaced or misguided love. And it was all, you know, about my father, and she didn't know where to place her feeling about it. Then I realized she never wanted me on earth. I was an inconvenience.
Getting to know you.
It was the Hammersteins that gave me a home.
The Hammersteins were the famed lyricist Oscar Hammerstein and his wife Dorothy, who lived in the house next door. They made Sondheim feel like a member of the family, and Hammerstein became a mentor who taught Sondheim how to build songs and how to relate them to characters. James Lapine has written and directed 3 shows with Sondheim.
Steve is not a songwriter in the sense that he bangs out a tune. He writes character music, and it's driven by the plot of a piece and by who's singing it, and that's why I think he's unique in what he does.
I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear.
It's the writer's job to make an audience feel things.
Quick, send in the clowns. Don't bother, they're here.
Every note that he writes, every syllable he chooses, every rest is justified with what's going on in her mind and what went on in the moment before and what she's moving towards.
I came to thank you for the books.
Donna Murphy is one of the stars of Sondheim's newest show, Passion, and her character is as unusual and risky as any Sondheim has ever written. Under heavy stage makeup, she plays a frail and unattractive woman who obsessively pursues a handsome soldier.
Oh, this happiness, being here with you in the dark.
But there's also a beautiful, ideal woman at the other corner of the triangle, based on an Italian movie set in the 19th century. So the challenge is how to draw audiences to that other character, the homely woman who seems so unsympathetic in contrast. That problem has led to a stream of rewrites, and that also appeals to Sondheim's penchant for experimenting.
I want the show to be one long rhapsodic love story.
I do not read to think. I do not read to learn. I do not.
Murphy's character starts with low, dark vocal tones, but as the audience becomes more familiar with her, Sondheim's aim is to raise the level of emotion by making just a few musical changes.
I wish I could forget you, erase you from my mind.
It is the same theme with an extra note attached to it. Her first theme had been, and now it's,
Our love is pure as breath, as permanent as death, implacable as stone.
A, it helps hold the work together, and B, it gives the character continuity instead of her singing a series of separate songs.
I want it left alone.
As with many Sondheim shows, bringing it off, trying something that is so different, has been a tall order. Its formal opening day was pushed back from April to May for more rewrites. But nevertheless, the marquee for the show stands out like a banner amid the shows that are either revivals of old successes or those British imports that have run for the better part of a decade.
Feel your touch again.
Sondheim is back, like him or not. And in this district, where the heart of American music once was found, he is one of the few who keeps it beating.
And have some time at last.
I also read a quote from you once where you said that after you die, if no one ever played another note of your music, wouldn't make a difference to you.
Yeah, I don't understand people who care about posterity. I really don't. If you're not around to enjoy the fact that people are enjoying what you're writing, what's the point?
I never knew what love was.
The nice thing about being a writer in the theater is to stand in the back of the house and watch an audience have a good time. That's the ultimate.
I am an enormous fan of Stephen Sondheim. I think I've seen almost everything he has done. But you know, in terms of the very popular songs people, you know, sing all the time, there aren't too many except for Send in the Clowns.
Right, that's the one big hit he's had on the pop charts, and it's not that he wouldn't like to be on the pop charts, it's just that his music is so character-driven that it's difficult to excerpt from a show and throw it out on its own.
Now, he is one of the few who does both the words and the music. Which does he think is more important?
That's the great all-time question, the chicken and egg kind of question, and his answer is, if you were stuck on a desert isle, which one would you rather be with? And my answer to that is the music.
Mine too. Well, I am passionate about Stephen Sondheim and look forward to seeing Passion. Thank you for bringing us this taste.